Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Been a really busy day. A lot of you have been calling me, asking me questions either about the CRA Academy or, surprisingly, a lot of you guys and gals want to open your own clinics, research sites, right? So I've been fielding calls nonstop today. And it's good. This means that we're getting the awareness out. I think ultimately, when we are able to target the right physicians, and this is where us business people, and for those of you physicians out there, you're business people as well, especially if you're running your own private practice. Yes, you're a doctor. You're also a business person, right? So this is ultimately good for clinical research because the more people we get involved in research, the better the overall awareness is for society, because patient recruitment is a huge problem. And so these are good things, and I'm very optimistic that we are going to get better in this industry, specifically with patient recruitment and general awareness from the general public. Okay, so today's question, quick segue. It's not really a question, it's something I wanted to talk about people who open their own research clinics, and about us researchers who go into this business. And I do say business because private research clinics are a business, alright? This is how we are healthy businesses. By remaining in business, we're doing a service to the community, to the patients, to the sponsors, to ourselves, to the doctors we work with, if we are able to create sustainable, healthy businesses that give back to others and to the community itself, right? So today I have something to talk about. We have a client. They're relatively new to research. They've been doing this for probably a little over a year and a half, right? So by this point, they should be doing a little better than they are. And I think a lot of people might fall into this same category, which we got to change. So they got a perfect study, right? We got them a perfect study. And for those of you who don't know, I do consulting. We can get you studies. We can do all kinds of stuff. Just call or text me and be one of the people I contact, right, to do possible consulting. So they've been running their site with our help. We've been getting studies. We got them a perfect study for that site, right? They ran into some hurdles, all right? Of course, every study is going to have hurdles. They ran into some hurdles before the study even started. So they got selected for the study, and then the sponsor started making certain requirements, which they're known to do, and just to give the sites a hard time, I guess. But all kidding aside, sponsors certainly have stringent requirements, regulatory requirements from the FDA, and certain studies are more important than others, regardless of what anyone tells you. Not all studies are the same. Some are much more important to some pharma companies than others. So this was one of those where the sponsor really needed, because this study is going to get FDA audited. They already know this, and so they're making the sites do a lot of work before the study even gets started. And one of those sites that I work with, it's a perfect study for them, okay? They can enroll 20 to 30 patients in this trial easily. They wanted to turn down the study because the sponsor was asking them for certain requests that they weren't able to do. So then they reached out to us, and we're already their clients, and we took care of it in about 30 minutes. We had to talk to several other stakeholders, and we took care of it, and now they're going to get the study. And the point is not to say how awesome we are, because of course, in fairness to them, they've only been doing this for a year, and we've been doing it for over 10 years. The point of this video is to let you guys out there know, especially those of you that are brand new, we've got to get better at getting creative about solving problems when it comes to clinical research, because you're going to get stringent requirements. You're going to get requests from sponsors where you're going to feel like you don't want to do that, right? And sometimes you don't. Sometimes the budget doesn't make sense. Sometimes the study's not a right fit for you. In this case of my client, the study is a perfect fit for them. But sometimes you do. Sometimes the right thing to do is to turn down the study. But when it's a perfect fit for you and your site, you jump through any hoops, over any hurdles. Don't let any obstacle get in your way. You need to find solutions, right? And the problem with a lot of people who get into this business is that they're not thinking like business people, right? I think the most important skill anyone can have in any industry right after self-awareness, knowing what they're good at and what they're bad at, is salesmanship, right? And that's not just being able to get a transaction done, right? I'm a realtor, I'm a salesman, naturally. I'm not talking about getting a transaction done. I'm talking about the ability to be persuasive, to be resilient, and to be creative, and be someone who solves problems and solution oriented versus someone who looks for problems and looks for reasons why they shouldn't do something, right? And a lot of people who get into this business thinking that they're great at science and they're very analytical and they know how to run a protocol. They're not necessarily creative. They're not the creative types, and they can get into problems because not everyone has the luxury of calling me or my business partner Chris and having us solve their problems, right? They get that luxury because we're their consultants. Most people don't have that luxury, and so what happens, I'm afraid, is most people would turn down these studies when really all you got to do is think outside the box, get a little more creative. There's always a way, okay? There's always a way, there's always a solution. There are no problems, there are only opportunities. So if the study is a right fit for you, don't get hung up on the details. Do what you got to do to get the sponsor to be okay with you, right? And this is vague, but you've got to be more persuasive, more creative, essentially a better salesperson. And it's hard for many of you because you're not naturally inclined to be that way. And you shouldn't completely flip the switch because, first of all, you won't be able to do that. If you're a naturally analytical person, you're not going to become a salesperson overnight. But you can start getting better, and you can put more effort into it, and you can start getting a little more creative and thinking outside the box. And eventually, you will be able to maybe hire a consultant like myself to help you with that, or train someone or hire somebody internally to be that type of person that you need to balance your analytical side. But if you're looking for an excuse not to do something, you're going to find a million reasons for just about anything where you're going to have reasons not to do it, right? So look for reasons to do it. Look for solutions rather than counting the problems, because there's going to be millions. Look for solutions. There's only going to be a few of those, right? Those are what you need to focus on. So hopefully this video can help some of you guys out there. Let me know, and again, if you need help consulting or biz dev or anything like that, give me a call, 949-415-6256. Hopefully this video helps you out, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.